Over 1.6 million in this pot. The crowd holding their breath because they don't want Doyle to go anywhere. We could have back-to-back WPT champions hit the door if Doyle's eliminated here.
That is a scary flop.
Well, it's come 10-9-7. This gives Darryl a straight draw, meaning Darryl can win this pot if an 8 comes up or take the lead if a jack comes up.
Well, Daryl Dickin from Iowa could be the spoiler here. He could knock out the legend on one card. Here it comes. No, not this time.
Well, a 5 comes on the turn. So going into the river, Darryl must catch a jack or an 8.
Is there justice for Doyle Brunson? We will see.
Well, a deuce comes off. So Doyle Brunson taking down that pot. There you see his wife, Louise. He's been married 44 years, Vince.
You talk about going all in.
Nice hand, Mr. Brunson.
A big smile by Doyle Brunson. This is getting good. Stay tuned. We're coming back with more action in just a moment.
Welcome back to the World Poker Tour. I'm here with Joe Cassidy, a former WPT final tableist. Now, in this tournament, you finished 7th. How's it feel to be the bubble boy?
The bubble boy is the worst position to be in. I mean, it feels terrible.
Well, now you're here. Do you have any predictions on who might win?
You know, I thought Patrick Antonius would either go out first or he would win it. So I'm picking Patrick Antonius, but Doyle's always a great competitor, too. So one of those two.
All right, well, let's see what happens. Let's get back to the action.
Our current chip leader is the phenom from Finland, Patrick Antonius, with about 5.6 million in chips. In second place, J.J. Liu with about 4.5 million. And in third place, the living legend himself, Doyle Brunson, with about 2.8 million.
All right, it's going to be on our chip leader. He quickly goes out. Renee out. Now J.J. Liu looks at Big Slick.
Well, a monster hand here. She picks up Ace-King. And she's going to raise it, makes it 250,000 to go.
All right, into Doyle Brunson, and Doyle's got a big hand too. Pair of jacks wired up.
Well, he's on a little roll right now too. This is a nice hand. Let's see how he's going to play the 2 jacks.
Raise it.
And he says he's going to raise.
And it looks like a $750,000 raise here. Makes it $1 million straight.
And the next man to act is Daryl Dickin, and he's got a pair of 9s.
Well, that's a pretty good hand too, but the pot's been raised and re-raised, and he wisely lays the 2 9s down.
I'm all in.
Back around to JJ. She says all in.
Without hesitation, she goes all in.
Oh, man.
We can see because of the WPT cam that Doyle is out in front here with the 2 jacks, but when you've re-raised and made $1 million to go, and she quickly goes all in over the top.
What did I do?
You got to take a step back and say, whoa. You're fearful that she has the aces, kings, or queens. One of the 3 hands that have you beat.
Oh, he's already invested over $1 million, though.
If she turned her hand straight up, Doyle would beat her in the pot, even though it's a race situation because of the pot odds he's getting, and they're tremendous pot odds, Vince. Doyle's got about 1.7 million left, yet right now there's about 2.7 million in the pot.
Well, I'll tell you something, J.J. Liu looking very scary with those trick-or-treat glasses on. What an over-the-top raise. She could bust out Doyle Brunson right now. Oh, and Doyle's saying to himself, what did I get myself into?
This is going to be a tough laydown to make.
But he
is making it. Wow. We can see that mathematically, because of the pot odds, that was the wrong decision by Doyle to make. But it just shows you that great players can make big laydowns.
Oh, man, the cowboy just falling off the horse there a little bit. J.J. Liu, the woman, is not afraid of the boys here tonight, that's for sure.
Vince, as you know, a lot of poker players have the mindset of athletes.
Right, but you know, one player once put it, he said, you know what, poker is the only so-called sport where an athlete can actually eat while playing his game, right?
Well, that may be true, but what many of them may not know is that what they eat can affect their game.
That is true, and that is why Courtney Friel is here. She's going to serve up some food for thought in this week's WPT Academy.
Poker players try to cover all the angles of the game, but many don't realize that the choices they make at the dinner table could determine whether they make the final table. So what do poker players like to eat?
Noodle. One-pan noodle soup.
Vegetables and rice.
Hummus and carrots. As long as it's got sauce and meat in it, I'm eating it.
Okay, now what should they eat?
You want foods that contain a mixture of carbohydrates, proteins, and fats. Things like sandwiches or trail mix provide a nice slow and steady absorption and then release of fuel to the body. When that blood sugar drops below normal, it can actually impair concentration and it cause some irritability.
I got the nuts, man.
Nutrition bars can actually be a wonderful snack.
I like to eat health food bars, nutritional bars, something that's good for you.
They don't leave you feeling full and actually sluggish like a large meal would.
It took me years to figure that out, but I always noticed I got broke after the dinner break a lot.
So if you want to play smart, remember to eat smart.
All you can eat, baby.
Well, I don't know about you, Mike, but that just whet my appetite. I'm getting hungry again. All right, back down on the table. First one to act, the young man from Iowa, Daryl Dickin. He has ace-4.
He comes in for $250,000.
Very early position. Patrick considering this with king-9 offsuit. And he says, no, not this time. I'm going to go out, let you breathe a little bit. Rene going out. Now J.J. Lew with queen-8. Wants no part of it.
So we're round to the big blind. Doyle Brunson peaks down at a 10-8. Remember, he's got $80,000 in the pot. Cost him another $170,000 to call. But he's staring over at Daryl, wondering if he comes over the top, if he can take the pot away from him here. Of course, you see a little steam coming out from Doyle under that cowboy hat for laying down the 2 jacks in the previous pot.
A little bit of anger. You can just feel it.
Right now, Daryl Dickin getting the Dickin scared out of him by Doyle Brunson.
He is going to stick around with a call.
Well, Doyle does make the call. So Doyle has the 10-8. Daryl has the ace-4. The flop comes 7-6-3. Both players have flopped a gut shot straight draw. Action is on Doyle Brunson.
Oh, he looks like he's been hit by the old stun gun.
Of course, he only has 10 high.
All in.
Well, he's going to go all in here. He is going to put the pressure right on the youngster. And Daryl can't stand the heat. He gets out of the kitchen.
Yeah.
Well, Doyle Brunson says, you know, I'm going to get my $1 million back one way or the other around here. Somebody is going to pay.
Who says anger isn't good at the poker table? Makes you have a little frustration. Go all in. You're seeing some old school poker by Doyle Brunson. What a match we got going on here at the Bellagio. Stay tuned. We're coming back with more exciting action here on the World Poker Tour. Okay, we are back here at Bellagio. 5 players remaining, and the blinds and antes are going up. $15,000 antes, with the blinds being 60 and 120 grand.
And Daryl Dickin on the short stack. Everyone but the lady has been on the short stack at this final table. All the guys sitting there at one time or another have been on the short stack at this final table.
That is pretty amazing, but action's going to be on our man Daryl Dickin from Iowa this time.
I'm all in.
A pair of 4 says he's going all in. Now right behind him, Patrick Antonius, chip leader, has ace-jack.
He's also got 3 players sitting behind him, yet to act on their hand.
How much is that?
Patrick says, how much is it?
Maybe about...
Man, this could be a questionable call here.
Well, he can afford to make the call, Vince. That's one thing he has going for him.
Yeah, you're right.
He's got over $7.1 million in chips, but still, do you want to gamble here for $1.3 million of it?
Now look at the left of Patrick. Notice this. Look at Rene with his hand on the cards. You know this man is going to fold. You know he's not an actor by now. A little lesson there. Know your guys. You know this man is going to go out. But that's a tell. Let's see what Patrick does first here.
It's a little over 12.
He is seriously thinking about this, it appears.
I call.
He's making the call, Vince.
Yes, he has.
Well, this is a daring call here by Patrick.
Rene out with queen-9. JJ out. Now Doyle Brunson with king-7. Can't figure he can call with this. No, he does not.
So we have the race situation. The 2 overcards versus the pair.
I'm not dominated.
It's ace-jack for Patrick.
My turn.
2 4s for Daryl.
How is it your turn?
And Daryl Dickin,
I use my luck to later.
from Waterloo, Iowa, must win this pot to stay alive.
Good luck, Patrick.
Good luck.
Well, the chip lead is going to try to knock this guy out, make him our 5th place finisher.
Here we go. Here comes a flop. Oh, not a good start for him.
Patrick has spiked the pair of jacks right off the bat.
Well, so far his call looks brilliant, Vince. He hasn't made a missed move yet today at this final table. Daryl Dickin must catch a 4 in the turn of the river, or he's going to be our 5th place finisher.
Oh, he needs to suck out now with the next couple of cards. He's not going to do it on the turn card. It's a 6 of spades.
We are down to the river.
Daryl in very grave condition right now.
Daryl has 2 outs, as we say. 2 cards in the deck that he can catch to win this pot.
Got in this tournament through a satellite. Needs a miracle.
And an 8 comes up at the river.
He did not do it.
Destiny was just not on his side to stay alive here. All 4 players at the table would have beat Daryl had they played that pot.
Well, he is a fine sport. He's going to be picking up $241,000. Daryl Dickin, dead man walking.
The good news is for him, he only has to walk up back to his room, Vance. This is where he's staying. Nice week for Daryl Dickin.
Well, we are down to 4 players. What drama unfolding here tonight?
Well, you talk about perfect timing by Patrick Antonius. Vince, every play he's made tonight has worked out well for him. He is on a roll. He is the monster chip leader now with over $8.7 million in chips, more than $5 million more than the second place person, which is J.J. Lew.
No, it's like he's a clairvoyant. He is in total groove. Nicely done. Action back on Doyle. He quickly folds. And now the man from Finland, Patrick Antonius, with just a 4 deuce.
Every single thing he's done today has turned to gold.
Oh, I gotta love this. He's going up to 300,000.
You can tell he's feeling his oats, folks.
Rene quickly going out. Now over to JJ, and she's got a pretty good hand, ace-jack.
Well, it's the same hand that she just saw Patrick win a big pot with. See how she's going to play it. JJ is making the call.
She makes that reluctant call.
Well, I think she was considering coming over the top, Vince, not throwing the hand away.
That could very well be. 2-way action. JJ with the ace-jack. Patrick with the absolute baloney. 4 deuce.
Here comes a flop. Now flop is ace-7-6. So JJ has flopped the 2 aces and checks. She's going to throw him a little rope here. Now, so far, every time someone's checked it, Patrick, he's bet, but this time he checks.
Well, he has respect for the lady at the table.
Boy, what timing he's got, though.
And there's a 3 on the turn.
Well, now this gives Patrick a gut shot straight draw, but still, he's got the very worst hand possible at this moment. And JJ leads out and bets 300,000.
And a quick call by Patrick.
Well, I'm surprised at that call, Vince. He can only win with a gut shot 5, other than a bet, of course. He could take it away from her, but...
Well, that was the quickest call. He does not get his card. It's a 9 of diamonds on the end.
Well, JJ's going to check just in case he was trapping her. She didn't want to fall into a big trap here. Now, we know the only way Patrick can win this pot is to bet at it because he has absolutely nothing.
Look at him. Looks like he's getting some chips.
Well, there's $1.3 million in the pot. He's taking a stab at it. He's betting $1 million here. So he is going to put JJ to the test, but can't imagine she's going to throw this hand away.
Well, he raised before the flop. He checked after the flop. Called on the turn, and now he's coming out with $1 million.
She's got to be thinking the only way she can be beat here is if he was trapping with a real big hand. Or possibly made 3 9s on the river here. Or 3 3s on the turn.
I call.
She makes this call. What a great call.
She's calling with the 2 aces.
Oh, Patrick not wanting to turn that over.
Well, JJ is going to win a nice pot there, over $3.3 million.
The lady showing some game there.
Well, Vince, I would have to say that's the first bobble we've seen Patrick make by calling that $300,000 bet on the turn with the gut shot straight draw. He was forced to bluff at that pot. Unfortunately for him, she made the call, and he lost a big one. We are down to our final 4.
That's right. And the winner is going to take home a $2 million first prize and take the title. Don't go away. We're coming right back.
Welcome back to the final table of Bellagio's 5-Diamond World Poker Classic. I'm Courtney Friel, and here are some of the highlights in the race for the $2 million first place prize.
At Bellagio, 4 players are left in the 5-Diamond World Poker Classic. Early on, the Unabomber Phil Laak imploded when he bluffed into pocket aces.
I just didn't believe he had a hand.
J.J. Lew came in as chip leader, but eventually turned that title over to a phenom from Finland.
Patrick picks up yet another pot.
A poker legend was nearly history, but Doyle Brunson fought back for a